the highest rated television show in this market, always the second Monday of every month. It is Help Monday, and I don't know why, but it is. Jacob and Jared here with us this morning. Jared and Jacob, good morning.
I thought this was Star Student of the Week.
It is, but y'all moved on. We added y'all after the beauty left the building.
That's right. That's right.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Cholesterol. I was telling these guys, my doctor said there's two types of cholesterol, good and bad. And I said, I want to talk about the good. He said, well, we need to talk about the bad. But here to talk about cholesterol testing this morning is Jacob Jared from Marble City Pharmacy. And let's talk about cholesterol, the testing segment of it. And, I didn't know there was a cholesterol test until not too long ago, and I had to take one.
You failed it.
I failed it, yeah. Bad failure.
I tell you what, the intros of these things are getting rougher and rougher. All right, cholesterol tests. You guys probably have had one of these, even if you didn't know it. The technical term would be a lipid panel. And so the cholesterol test is measured through your blood. If you go to your doctor on a regular basis, every 6 months, once a year, he's probably checking your cholesterol, your lipid panel. And so he's looking for, in this lipid panel, your total cholesterol, your HDL or good cholesterol, your LDL or bad cholesterol, and also your triglycerides. And we're going to get into all that, but a cholesterol test is done through your blood work. A lot of times it's done through your normal blood work, and you probably had one whether you know it or not.
All right, the difference in cholesterol and what's that other one?
Triglycerides.
I can't read his writing, of course.
Just pick one and go for it.
Pick one and go for it. Right. So, triglycerides. We use that term a lot. Everybody that goes to the doctor just about and gets these blood results back, the doctor
That's what I
talks about.
always do. I walk in my doctor and say, hey, check my triglycerides.
You got it right there, though, at least. So we hear that term from the doctor, and do we really even know what it is? What are triglycerides? Triglycerides, similar to cholesterol, are fats that float around in your blood. They're lipids in your blood, fats in the blood. But there are significant differences. So triglycerides, our body doesn't make our own. We get that solely from food. We get it directly anytime we eat oils and butters. So anything good and deep fried has triglycerides in it. All the good food, right? But where we mainly get our triglycerides is anytime we eat, and pretty much every time we eat, more calories than we need right then, our body stores it. And this is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. Our body stores that extra calories for energy later in the form of triglycerides and tucks them into fat cells. So triglycerides end up living in fat cells in your body, but they're stored for energy later. Again, we don't, take a step, take a bite, take a step, take a bite. We have energy stored. That's how we go from meal to meal. And this is one of the ways we do it. We store excess calories, excess energy as triglycerides in the fat cells.
Well, what about cholesterol?
First of all, I'd just like to say that I've been really concerned about my energy levels.
So eat more.
I consumed basically an entire coconut pie this weekend. But I feel
pie?
really good. Oh yeah, I mean,
Over the weekend.
Over the course of 3 days.
Oh,
but,
I understand.
Still, that's pretty disgusting.
Well, I like coconut pie. Okay. Cholesterol, in a similar way, so cholesterol is similar to triglycerides.
What did that pie have to do with this? You going somewhere with it?
I'm storing up energy.
Okay.
Jacob said you could store up energy with extra calories.
All right.
I chose to do it in the form of coconut pie.
Continue on.
Oh, okay. All right. So cholesterol is similar to triglycerides, but also different. Cholesterol, like triglycerides, are fat or lipids that move around in your bloodstream. But unlike triglycerides, your body actually makes cholesterol. Your liver produces cholesterol. You do also get cholesterol, though, from the foods that you eat. You got your various meats, you got your eggs, you got your things that are high in fat. And so, and then cholesterol can be good or bad. Cholesterol is good in the sense that it does help you make hormones. It helps you make vitamin D. It helps you make bile. So both triglycerides and cholesterol do have their functions in the body. They have their functions in the body that are important. It's just that when they get to levels that are too high is when we might have a problem.
And Jacob, that's where the danger comes in right there.
Yes, these can be dangerous. We've talked on this show about cholesterol before, multiple times over the years, and not as much about triglycerides. The answer is both of them lead to major health problems. Triglycerides, when they get too high, we don't talk about those as much, can lead to various forms of heart disease and heart failure, different than what cholesterol leads to. They both lead to heart problems, but triglycerides are various forms of heart disease and heart failure. And if they're like immediately too high at any one point, like super high, you can get a disease called pancreatitis, which puts you in the hospital pretty quick. Extremely painful, really quick hospitalization. And so triglycerides are dangerous on that hand, and cholesterol is dangerous in the forms of, we've talked about this, it builds up the fatty deposits and clogs your arteries, and you get your heart attacks, your strokes, your clots, all those things. That comes from high cholesterol or high bad cholesterol.
Outside of eating a whole coconut pie at a weekend, how can these numbers get out of whack?
How can these numbers get out of whack? Well, this is something we haven't covered yet. I want to make sure that we cover this. First of all, it certainly has something to do with your diet. Triglycerides, the amount that you take in, the amount of calories you take in that get converted to triglycerides, that's on you, right? That's on me. Coconut pie, obviously not the best thing for me to do this past weekend. Cholesterol that's produced by your liver, there is, I don't want to say that high cholesterol is inherited, but that is maybe the best way to say it. There is a familial passing down of high cholesterol. And so in our family, we have a long history of high cholesterol. Both of us have had high cholesterol since we're probably in our, 20s?
Yeah.
And it's something that runs in our family. Now, in addition to that, the way we've chosen to eat over the years has also contributed to us having high cholesterol. Triglycerides, while they are dependent on what you eat, you can be, because of your family history, more likely to develop high triglycerides, if that makes sense. So, the answer to the question is, it has to do with your family history and the things that you inherit from your parents. And it also has to do with your diet.
So, Jacob, what can we do to affect these numbers?
Well, Jimmy Dale, this is your favorite part of every segment.
All right.
You know what's coming.
I
You ready?
do, I do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We can eat better.
Yeah.
We can lose weight. We can exercise more. When you exercise, it causes your body to create more of what is known as the good cholesterol. That's the best way to raise that, is by exercise. And when you have more good cholesterol, its job is to grab that bad cholesterol and take it back out of your bloodstream. That's what good cholesterol does. So we make more by exercising. We take in less cholesterol and triglycerides by eating better. So the two things you didn't want me to say.
Yeah, we talk about some of this stuff tongue in cheek, but this can be a very serious matter.
Yeah, this can be a very serious matter. When, like Jake said, if the triglycerides get totally out of control, you might end up with pancreatitis. That's not the most likely. What's the most likely with your triglycerides getting too high is it works on your heart. May even end up in heart failure over time, right? Cholesterol, when it starts to build the plaques inside the arteries, and the arteries get smaller and smaller and smaller, your heart has to work harder and harder and harder, you may end up with a heart attack or a stroke. So these are things that, and I don't think we said this, but these are things that you don't notice by the way you feel. So you may have high triglycerides, you may have high cholesterol, and there's no symptoms that you notice. But they're extremely important because over time, there's certainly heart risk factors.
One thing that I have noticed is the ongoing remodel that's going on at the store. And, I saw Don over there the other day. He's overseeing it real well. And I know you guys will be excited to get back in that store.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't worry as much about my cholesterol and triglycerides ruining my heart, because this construction project is going to give me a heart attack. Like, I don't need the cholesterol to do it for me. It's the construction project.
Yeah, but we're not going to live long enough for this to be an issue.
Yeah, this construction project's going to do its thing. Look,
right.
it's going. It's on schedule. We're about a month out roughly from being back home, hopefully. But as you know, if you've ever had any construction, home or business, that last home stretch is everything falls into place at one time, and it's busy, 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 wild, 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 and stressful.
Yeah, quickly, a couple of high points that we're looking at with a remodel.
Yeah, well, first of all, we're going to add a drive-through for the first time ever, so that's going to be fantastic. You know, we weren't. It's more difficult for us to come out to your vehicle. It's more difficult for us to come out to your vehicle. Now we're going to have a fantastic window to get all that done. When your kids are sick, when you're having trouble walking, when you just don't feel like coming in, or when you want to go outside in your pajamas, right? You can just come up to the drive-thru. The second thing would be a beautiful expanded pharmacy, which doesn't make that much difference to you, but it's going to make our jobs a lot easier. And the third thing, a beautiful expanded gift department. You're going to love it.
Thank you both for coming this morning.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hope you have a fantastic day. Marble City Pharmacy and Help Monday here on Daybreak Live. That'll wrap it up for us here on the show this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fantastic Monday. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. And stay safe, everyone.